My name is Guillermo. I'm the head chef over at the National Golf Club, and I've just taken over as head chef close to 3 months ago. I took care of the dish that I'm making for you guys short of 2 ways. Braised short rib and sous vide the short rib. This I love particularly. This is a dish that I've been working on over the years, and I've worked on perfecting it ever since. And as I do it, I enjoy cooking it every single time, and it's something that I love giving to my customers, short rib. I've always liked cooking with many types of proteins, any types of game, offals, but out of everything, I enjoy the most cooking short rib. I think it's the most delicious, succulent meat there is. Fatty, when braised, it breaks down beautifully, and when seared, it's just as good if it's sous vide right. Everything else on the dish is what I love eating, with the palm puree, the pickled mustard seeds, the crispy shallots. It's something that I know and I love cooking with passion, just as anything will, and I treat everything with respect. So these are the ingredients we're going to be using in order to create this dish. Over here we have some mustard greens that I picked down and cleaned. Later we're going to be wilting it with a little bit of olive oil in a hot pan. Over here we have a finished palm puree with our butter, cream, salt. Over here, fine parsley that's been dehydrated with garlic and a touch of lemon, and then ground it up afterwards to create this very fine powder that's going to go on top of our braised short rib after. Later here we have the braised liquid that's been reduced down to consistency to finish off this braised short rib. Our shallots that are cut into rings that we're later going to batter and fry lightly. Our pickled mustard seeds. Our braised and pressed short rib, and our sous vide 6-ounce beef short rib. That's been sous vide to 130 with a little bit of rosemary, garlic, and butter. So in order to begin the dish, we begin by prepping the meat and caramelizing on all sides after it's been dusted with some all-purpose flour, and shake up any excess flour before hitting the pan with butter and olive oil. And it has been caramelized and colored all sides. Once I put it in the oven, I let it go for about 6 minutes and until it's hot and warm in the center. Later I take it out of the oven, dry it, transfer it to another pan in order to deglaze it, and start glazing it with the sauce, the demi-glaze of the braised liquid, and later put it aside for serving. So after the sous vide short rib portion has been cooked at 130 for about 3 to 4 hours, I take it out of the bag, pat dry it nice and dry with a paper towel so it browns evenly across all sides. After it's been dried and patted, I season it with salt, black pepper, and put a pan on at medium-high heat. Start it with some vegetable oil until it comes to a smoking point, and begin by searing my meat only briefly until it gets some color on both sides. I quickly want to sear it so it doesn't overcook it and doesn't dry off from that tenderness cook that's been going on in the sous vide machine. After that, put it on the cutting board. I slice it vertical wise and expose the cooked side up for presentation. So after the palm puree has been cooked, riced, and the butter and cream have been incorporated, I later finish it with some salt, taste for seasoning, and leave it off to the side. Once it is ready to be served and plated, I bring it up to a slow, gentle heat, making sure it doesn't split or stick to the bottom of the pot, and begin by putting on the plate just a generous smear across the plate. So for the crispy shallots, after they've been cut in rings, I later proceed by placing them in the batter that I made previously and dredging them all sides. I roughly use 4 to 5 pieces of rings per plate. Once they've been battered, on all sides. I put them in the fryer at a medium heat. Any high, it'll just brown and burn. Any lower, and it'll just be very, very soggy and undercooked, even if you leave it for 3 to 4 minutes. So after the fryer has been set to its proper temperature, I proceed by frying the crispy shallots until they're nice and crispy and cooked for about 1 minute to 2 minutes. I later transfer them over to a stainless steel bowl and season them with some salt. And I leave them aside, ready to be plated in the final dish. For the wilted mustard greens, I start out with having a pan at medium-low heat, add a touch of olive oil, and proceed by cooking them ever so gently until they start to wilt, but not overcook and turn brown. Once I see that they've been wilted a little bit, I finish with a little bit of salt, a splash of water just to steam it through, and leave it off to the side until it's ready to be plated. So now we're going to start with our palm puree. Nice generous amount of scoop. Our plate. Our shore rib, our braised shore rib has been glazed with the sauce. Gently nice sticky sauce clinging to it. Where to go next? Use mustard greens. Use wilted mustard greens. Next, the shore rib. Some of the pickled mustard seeds. This is going to give acidic crunch and a sharpness to the taste to complement the mustard greens themselves and to cut through all the fattiness of the shore ribs. Next, crispy shallot rings to add texture. Finally, to our little touch, could add some mustard seedlings to the dish, just for color. So for the digital cookbook for the National Golf Club, this is my dish, the shore rib 2 ways. Braised, sous vide and pan-seared with your crispy shallots, pickled mustard seeds, wilted mustard greens, palm puree, and braised GuiYu. This dish is a dish that we have and elevated over here at the National. It is something that I take very pride of making and has grown over me throughout the years. Thank you.